Step out of the car right now. Step out. Step out. Look at me. Step out. Step out. Go down to your stomach. Down to your stomach right now. Down to your stomach. Down to your stomach. Go down to your stomach right now or I will tase you. Go down to your stomach right now. Lincoln 5, taser deployed.
This encounter took place on July 24, 2024, on Gravenstein Highway in Sebastopol, California. The agency is the Sebastopol Police Department, the officer, Forrest Whitehall. A driver had been reported swerving through traffic, and officers suspected a drunk driver. What they were actually looking at was a medical emergency.
Lincoln 5 continuing southbound, almost striking vehicles on oncoming traffic between the center median and the bike lane. Speeds are 37, moderate traffic. Can you advise the SO?
They're online now.
Or 40.
Copy, LRTC at 2400 now.
Lincoln 5, TC, across from Antique Society, start code 3 medics.
Copy.
Police! Turn the truck off! Turn the truck off! Lincoln 5, high risk stop. The exact numerics are going to be 2580 Graf South. The car. Step out of the car right now. Step out. Step out. Look at me. Step out. Step out. Go down to your stomach. Down to your stomach right now. Down to your stomach. Down to your stomach. Go down to your stomach right now or I will tase you. Go down to your stomach right now.
Before officers knew anything about who Jeffrey Callaghan was or why his car had drifted, the response was already a felony stop, commands to get on the ground, and, within about 90 seconds, a taser deployment. Under the Fourth Amendment, the use of force during an arrest is governed by the objective reasonableness standard from Graham versus Connor, decided by the Supreme Court in 1989. That case asks courts to weigh three things: the severity of the suspected crime, whether the person poses an immediate threat, and whether they're actively resisting or fleeing. Here, the suspected offense was, at most, reckless driving. There's no indication Callaghan threatened anyone, and what looks like non-compliance in these seconds is, on this record, someone in the middle of a diabetic episode who, by his own account moments later, had no idea what was happening. There's a detail worth sitting with here. The plaintiff in Graham versus Connor, the case that set this very standard, was also a diabetic, stopped by police during an insulin reaction. Courts have been wrestling with exactly this scenario for almost 40 years. Whether tasing someone who isn't verbally responding but also isn't attacking anyone satisfies Graham's reasonableness test is exactly the kind of question a jury, or in this case, a $1.95 million settlement, ends up answering.
Lincoln 5, taser deployed. Stay on the ground. Stay down. Stay down. Get on your stomach. Roll over on your stomach right now. Roll over! Get on your stomach! I will keep tasing you! Stay on your stomach! Do not move! Arm out! Arm out! Anything to drink today at all?
No.
Okay.
I don't drink.
You don't drink at all?
No, sir.
Okay.
I do jiu-jitsu. I train over at Terrell's. I got a brown belt.
Would you be alright to doing a preliminary alcohol breath test later on today?
Anytime.
Okay.
Right now, anytime.
How do you feel right now?
I feel better now that she gave me some sugar. I
Okay.
feel my brain's working. But when you first put me in the car, I didn't know what. I had no clue what was going on.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, man.
Alright, your first name?
Listen to how fast the conclusion arrives. Callaghan says no, he hasn't been drinking. The officer's response, okay, drunk, before any field sobriety test, before any breathalyzer, before anything but a denial. For an arrest to be lawful, the Fourth Amendment requires probable cause, facts that would lead a reasonable officer to believe a crime occurred. That standard comes from Beck versus Ohio, decided in 1964, where the Supreme Court held that good faith on the part of the arresting officer is not enough on its own. There have to be actual facts. On this record, at this point, the facts pointing toward intoxication amount to a driver who wasn't responding to commands, which, as Callaghan himself explains seconds later, is also exactly what a severe hypoglycemic episode looks like. There's a strong argument that non-responsiveness alone, without a breath test, without slurred speech, without any of the usual indicators, doesn't clear that bar, and within the next few minutes, the officers on scene appear to reach the same conclusion themselves.
All right, your first name's Jeff, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, Jeff, hang tight. I'll roll this window down, so if you need anybody, just holler. All right?
Thank you.
What's that, Jeff?
Baby, the most important thing to me is my daughter.
Your daughter?
She's okay.
That was your daughter in the car?
That's my baby.
Okay.
That's my...
I think she's okay. All right, I think she's okay. She went to the hospital in an ambulance, but from everything I saw, I think she's going to be okay.
So what are we at? Where are we at here over here?
I don't think this is a deuce.
I think it's a diabetic issue.
I think it's a diabetic issue.
Yeah. From what I talked to Mom,
Okay.
she said he's type 1 diabetic, and there is a court-ordered custody arrangement. He's not supposed to have her right now.
He has the little blood thing on his arm or whatever. He said it wasn't operating correctly. So I'll let him know that his blood sugar was tanking. He said he never saw my lights. He said he never heard my siren.
That's all consistent with diabetic.
It is, yeah.
This is the turning point on the tape. Within about 2 minutes of the taser, officers are already saying it themselves. Type 1 diabetic, a malfunctioning glucose monitor, no reaction to lights or sirens, in their own words, all consistent with diabetic. And notice what Callaghan is asking about, seconds after being tased and handcuffed. Not his rights, not a lawyer, his daughter. At this exact point in the encounter, the record shows officers privately concluding this likely isn't a DUI at all. What they do with that realization is the rest of this story.
His blood sugar was tanking. He said he never saw my lights. He said he never heard my siren.
That's all consistent with diabetic.
It is, yeah. So at this point, I don't... He's got all the signs, like the objective signs, but all that can just be diabetic as well.
Explore the child custody thing.
Yeah.
Find out, run a 26 on him, and then I'll provide her the mom's information and see if if we can find that court order. Okay. And see if it says that he's not supposed to have it. There's a arrest for that.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we're going to have to sit with him. Now, nobody has told him he's under arrest yet. Has he been Mirandized?
He's been Mirandized and he's here to answer my question.
Okay. Did you ask him any of the FST stuff?
Yeah, so be advised, the review unit can come in a little early, they'll be around.
Hey ladies, do you know who this is? The man with
The only thing was asked if he had anything to drink today, and he said no.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the only FST question.
So, are you hearing what? Nope. Yeah, I know. I heard. It's probably not a deuce. It's probably a diabetic issue. Let's see. He's saying that he didn't see lights. He didn't know we were trying to stop him. He thought there was something wrong with the car. So we'll do the whole FST, investigation thing. Get blood taken. I talked to Mom. She said he's type 1 diabetic. When I told her he was in a crash, she said, "Oh no, he's a diabetic." And he might have.
Yeah, and it could very well be. I heard the number.
Yeah.
These guys told me the number. I heard the gal. Yeah. So it absolutely.
The other thing is he's not supposed to have a daughter right now. There's a court order for child custody arrangement, and he's violated that.
So, and the other thing is, diabetic fits like that.
Yeah.
Every one I've been in, they're short-lived before the blackout.
You said he was unresponsive when you pulled him over.
Yeah.
You weren't getting anything from
So that could have happened. But the travel from downtown to here, highest rate of about 30 miles an hour. Most were between 20 and 30. That's an awful long time because the diabetic episode can be induced because of the alcohol you ingested too. So you did the Miranda thing.
Even after saying out loud that this looks diabetic, the officers don't let Callaghan go. They confirm he's already under arrest. They call his daughter's mother, who confirms type 1 diabetic. And in the same conversation, a new detail surfaces. Callaghan wasn't supposed to have his daughter that day under a custody arrangement. There is a highly unlikely reading of this record where continuing to detain someone the officers themselves believe is having a medical emergency, rather than simply calling paramedics and de-escalating, satisfies the Fourth Amendment seizure standard. Graham versus Connor doesn't just govern the decision to use force. Courts have applied its reasonableness framework to the ongoing decision to continue a seizure after circumstances change. Once officers have facts suggesting a medical crisis rather than a crime, the reasonableness of continued detention has to be reassessed, not treated as settled at the moment of the stop.
Find out about is he coherent?
Oh, yeah.
You're able to talk to him.
And the dad in me hopes it's diabetic.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I don't want to think about that poor, beautiful little girl having to live with that. So, is mom on her way?
She's headed to the hospital.
Okay, good. So, if that gets extended at all, just get a hold of Sarge at Sonoma County just to let him know what's up.
Yeah. He was aware. I gave him the phone number for the mom so that his deputy can...
Oh, good. Oh, okay. Oh, you got a hold of him before you
There's
took
a
off.
deputy over there waiting with the daughter.
Yes. No, I know that.
The sergeant, yes.
That's what I
talked
said.
with their sergeant.
So you got Sarge, you got that?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So work the DUI,
I'll work the dues.
foul engagement, and the pursuit and all that aspect, but see if we can do FSTs with them.
Okay.
They're going to probably want to take him to the hospital.
No, they released
okay
him to
with
us.
releasing him?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I figured we were going to take him anyways.
He won't be able to go to jail until he's medically cleared.
Yeah.
So if it goes that route, we're taking him there, then it's going to be he'll go to the hospital anyway.
Here's the moment at the center of the lawsuit. Paramedics have already been called. There's discussion of taking Callaghan to the hospital, and in the middle of that, an officer lays out the plan, hold him, and work the charges, child endangerment and pursuit and all that aspect. According to the lawsuit, Callaghan was never convicted of any of it. Blood and breath tests both came back negative for alcohol. The felony charges, vehicular evading, child endangerment, resisting arrest, didn't stick. There is a strong argument that building a charge list around someone you've already concluded is having a diabetic emergency rather than the crime you originally suspected is not what probable cause is supposed to look like. Whether that record supports a claim beyond excessive force towards something like malicious prosecution is a separate legal question, and it's one a court never had to resolve because the city chose to settle. In July of 2026, the city of Sebastopol agreed to pay Jeffrey Callaghan $1.95 million to settle his federal civil rights lawsuit. The city's statement said the settlement was not an admission of liability, but, in its words, an appropriate economic decision. As of this recording, the $1.95 million settlement is final. The city has not announced any public disciplinary outcome for the officers involved. I scored this a 3 out of 10, mostly for what happened after the officers said out loud that this looked diabetic. If you'd score it differently, tell me exactly where. If this helped you understand where reasonable force ends, share it with someone who should see it. Was $1.95 million enough for what's on this tape? Next week, another case, another camera, another lesson in your rights. I will see you in the next case.